Xinjiang is a place where people from different ethnic groups have lived together for millennia. Earlier this month, 20 international students made a 7-day trip to the region. For most of them, it was the first time. What stood out to them about the region's mix of different cultures and traditions? What made them call this place inspiring? I spoke with 3 of them from Zhejiang Normal University in South China. I'm pleased to be joined by 3 of the students: Mazumdar Oscar from Bangladesh, Mackenzie Shakel Elviska Elisha from St. Vincent and Grenadines in the Caribbean, and Yunus Shibini from Algeria. The warmest welcome to all of you. First of all, let me go to Oscar. Oscar, tell us about the preparation for this trip. How did it come about?
We started on 2nd July for Xinjiang. And we were almost 20 students from 19 countries, and we started from Hangzhou to Urumqi. So our first city was the provincial city of Xinjiang, Urumqi. We are there for 2 days. It's almost 1 night and 1 day, and we have been to the Xinjiang Museum. And they are called the local market Tapa Cha. So when we are in the museum, we have saw a lot of cultural and ancient things of Xinjiang, like their cultural diversity, how they come from past to present, and how actually Xinjiang is a multinationality place, where multinationality comes and mixed with the mixed culture.
Yeah. So basically, it's a field trip for the summer to help you see the place and get a feeling of this place. Is that right? Yeah. Shakil, what stories about this trip did you share with your family and friends after you come back from the trip? What impressed you the most on the personal level?
Okay, so I think what impressed me the most was the different multi-ethnic groups that they have there in Xinjiang, and the fact that they're all together and living peacefully. And I think we went to Pokaya Museum, where we saw there was an area that was like a desert, and they were able to transform this desert into a green land where the people and the army all came together to work and like create a paradise for the people there. I found that to be very inspiring.
So you had time to discover not just the diversity of the culture in Xinjiang, but also the economic development and efforts to transform the ecological system. But Yunus, let me go to you, because you are a student of music. You study music and dance, and it must have been a very interesting trip for you, because Uyghur music is world famous, and Uyghur people are very versatile. They love singing, they love dancing, and they love to use, dance to express their feeling whenever they feel like it. So what kind of takeaway did you get from the experience, either the Uyghur music or the Uyghur instrument or the way they dance?
So yeah, that's very interesting, because in Xinjiang there is people who are dancing and singing everywhere, like everywhere. And I was more interested in Uyghurs' music, like Sharmukamu. Like this kind of music, I heard about it before, but just in some articles and in some lectures in our university. But when I went to Urumqi, and we saw how this music is performed, and there was a professor there. He was explaining to us in the same time the meaning of this music and the meaning of the lyrics, because we don't understand the Uyghurs' language, and it was very, very interesting to see the performance just in the real world. So there is a dance, there is instrumental music, there is singing. So it's very interesting, and I saw just different instruments. There is just a lot of traditional instruments, like dutar and some percussion instruments like the ruwap, and it's very interesting to me. And I asked some questions about these instruments, about the transcription of this music, because it was narrated orally, like it's oral tradition, like us in North Africa. So it was very interesting to see this music, how it is performed in the real world.
Oscar, what is your experience? What impressed you the most about the trip?
So when we went to Jiashi district in Kashi, and we saw a water solution industry. We know that in the past, Xinjiang has lack of healthy water, lack of water. So when we've been there, the water solution industry has totally solved that water problem in Xinjiang. We have seen there that the local people are saying that now they have no lack of water, and the water is very healthy for them. So like China government brings a new life for Xinjiang people, new hope.
Shakil, what was your biggest, I mean, you talked about economic development as well. Did you feel that this was something that you didn't expect at all, or that it was something that you can learn, and or people in other places can potentially draw experience from and help with their development?
Well, at first, it was definitely something I did not expect. But the businesses, the company, and as well as the people, they surprised me a lot. And I feel that it's something that other countries can truly learn from. They really put a lot of effort, and it wasn't just one person, it was everyone working together to try and make a better livelihood for the people of Xinjiang. So I think it's something I could definitely relate to my country's needs as well.
In general, in terms of stability or people's feeling, walking on the streets, going anywhere, I wonder, Eunice, for instance, how did you feel? Did you feel safe? Did you feel that you can go anywhere, talk to people on the street, and there was a general sense of ease, or still a certain nervousness or tenseness in the air? What was your experience there?
Okay, good. So we didn't had any issue of security or something like that. So we were walking in the streets freely, and we were talking to people freely. And I remember there was one woman. She went and said to me, she was talking to me in Uyghur language, and I don't understand the Uyghur language. And some professor came and he translated to me what she said. She said that you're the same as my son. You look like my son. So, and I just felt very, very good in Zhejiang, even if it was very, very quick. So because we visited a lot of cities and a lot of places, so we were very quick in our trip. But we saw people, we saw different people, we saw Han people, we saw Uyghurs are living all together. And we learned more about the history of Xinjiang and the multicultural aspects, multi-religions, and multi-ethnic groups in this area. And this is really positive to me to see these different ethnic groups are living all together. Very interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm sure you have heard, a lot of accusations made against Xinjiang, horrible things being said about how the people are treated there, or how the people are treated there as employees, that they're forced to work and so on and so forth, or that their culture is being, cleansed and stuff like that. So having been there, I understand it was a very short trip. You only get to scratch the surface, to say the most. But did you have a better understanding? Did it help clear some of the uncertainty or some of the questions you may have had before you go there, Eunice?
Well, I heard a lot of negative stuff about Xinjiang before, but after being there, I just discovered that there is no cultural or religious kind of issues. maybe there is like some security issues, but this is like national security issues. It's not kind of religious or cultural problem, because we saw that they are telling people all their history, like not just kind of religion or something like that. Deeper Xinjiang's history and all the different group ethnic that survived there, or different cultures or religions. So I didn't saw any problem with that.
Basically, when you mean security, you mean extra strict measures in terms of keeping any possible incidents from happening. So a lot of security to make sure that things are fine, to make sure that everybody is safe. Is that what you mean?
Yes, because we heard a lot of stories about Xinjiang, some dark years of Xinjiang, and right now what the measures are taken to fight against all these events or all aggressions. So it's going to be so hard, and not just for the government, but for the people, it's going to be a little bit hard too. So, but I think, but I feel more positive about that.
So, Oscar, if I were to ask you to sum up your trip in a nutshell, 2-3 sentences, how would you describe it?
Actually, 2 or 3 sentences is too short to describe my experience and the feelings, but I will say that Xinjiang is really a beautiful place, and the culture, the diversity of culture, the multi-ethnic culture, it's really amazed me a lot. And actually, in the past, and when I am not in Xinjiang, so I have learned, I have heard a lot of things about Xinjiang, but when I have been there, it's totally makes me right. No, I feel safe in Xinjiang, and we all, when actually 7 days is very short for us, and when we are coming back, we was very sad.
I know,
because we are feeling love Xinjiang actually.
I think that's a feeling that's shared by many people. I had certainly the same feeling. I didn't want to leave. But Shakil, what was your experience in a few sentences?
So, like my classmate said, I found Xinjiang to be truly a beautiful place. You know, the mixture of the multi-ethnic groups, the people living together in harmony, everyone working together for a better future. I feel it's a place I would definitely hope to visit again, and I'm so thankful that I got the opportunity to actually witness it in real time. You know, so I think that's about it.
Thank you very much, Oscar, Shakil, and Yunus, and I hope that more people are able to go to Xinjiang and see for themselves this beautiful place. Thank you very much once again.